nobody can tell your story, right? It sounds more authentic, when it comes from the source, right? So let me break it down this way. Please introduce yourself to the family, sir.
Uh, my name is Gemini for real. I'm a songwriter, entrepreneur, artist. I'm originally from Atlanta, living in Florida right now. Um, got connections all across. I just released an EP, Homeless and Handsome Volume 1, on all digital stores everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We definitely going to get into all that, right? So let's do it like this. Let's slow cook it, right? Let's slow cook it. Okay, so the name, where did the name come from?
Gemini, well, I am a Gemini, and at the time there was another artist with Gemini in his name, and I didn't even want no kind of mix up to be in the situation, so I titled it different. Um, so it's Gemini, but it's spelled like a gem in your eye, and it kind of spoke to that underdog spirit. A lot of times, people will be that gem, but you just got to brush them off a little bit, or knock some of them rough edges off of them, and they'll be smooth again. I think I was at the time I was homeless. In fact, I've been through a lot, man. I've been up, I've been down, I've been left and right. But at the time I was homeless, and I was listening to an argument between some young ladies, and they were talking. It was at I don't know, a coffee shop or something. They were just living their lives, having no idea that I'm sitting over there, somebody, that was going through what I was going through, and it wasn't for them to know. But at the same time, I'm listening to them have a really passionate discussion about whether Lil Wayne is attractive or not. The core argument was, if he was broke, wouldn't nobody look at him? All them tattoos on the face. I don't know. I'm a dude. I'm not engaging that, but I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm thinking, that makes a lot of sense because, in the current state that I was in at the time, I don't know what I looked like. If I went to the mirror, I could have been, mangled and don't look like I'm cleanly shaven. I could have had a smell on me. Who knows? But at the time, nobody would give me the time of day, even though not all of it, but some of the mental was still there. Some of the person was still there. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there's a level that resources, there's a level of respect that resources, a base level of respect that resources can give you. And when you don't have it, it is what it is.
And that's one of those secret codes. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you don't, and it's okay. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So who made you want to rap?
Uh, I don't know. That's a difficult question. I guess it's not really difficult. It's kind of weird. Okay, so there was a guy that I was cool with when I was a little jit, and my mom, she would always have us in church trying to keep us out of trouble and stuff like that. So the dude, he cut hair in the neighborhood. He rapped real good. He's had these little mixtapes out and stuff. Shoot, from the first moment I really wanted to take it serious back in 2010, I used to freestyle a lot around friends. We were young. We used to smoke weed and all of that, and rapping, and people are looking at me like, man, you kind of putting some stuff together there.
Sensational.
You need to make a song. And I used to brush it off, and then eventually got to the point where my baby mama was saying the same thing at the same time, and so I started listening to everybody. I said, okay. I went off to myself and wrote a little song. There was no beat to it. There was nothing. It was literally just me beating on my chest, and I think I rapped it to a couple of friends of ours, and went about our business, and didn't see them for about 3 weeks. Next time I run into them, they're like, man, what does it was rap that song again? That thing was stuck in our head. I'm like, how a song that's got a hook and a verse and that's about it, and no beat, me beating on my chest, got stuck in your head. When I'm listening to something, I might not even understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. And like for instance, one time I was listening to a track, and the only thing that kept popping in my head is like a merry-go. Made a whole song about a merry-go-round and made it as a metaphor for karma coming back on your ass. Sometimes it's just, I believe it is kind of like what Pharrell be talking about when he says there's a ether out there that everybody's drawing from, and you might get the idea first, but if you don't capitalize on it, somebody else will have your idea. What is the beat telling me it needs to be about? And I think that's where the match comes from with the lyrics that I come up with and the beats that they partner with.
So when you recorded that song, right, on the playback, so you listening to the song after you recorded it, did you know that was one of them ones?
Oh man, I knew it was one of those ones for me, but that's how I really feel about anything that accomplishes the goal, and that quiet goal that the listener doesn't see is getting what I hear up here out here as accurately as possible. The beat was actually okay. So the beat was an idea by me, but the execution of that quality was my cousin, Fresh. Fresh is a beast. When I tell you somebody who knows he's good but don't even really know how good he is, you could shut the lights off and this man would be click 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 click, click and 20 seconds later cut the lights on. He didn't put a whole hit together. He had a studio on Arlington, and I went over there and he played the beat for me, and I was like, "This shit cold." He said, "Well, hold on, I got something else," and he hit play on another track, and it was the same hit pattern that I had sent him, but it was a completely different beat. And I said, "Man, shit, I like both of them." He said, "Which one you want?" I said, "I told you, I like both of them." I looked at him, he looked at me, and I said, "How long is sicko mode?" He said, "Say less," and we started clicking.
That's the fact. That's the fact. Did you write the whole song right then and there? Like, you was locked in like that?
Yeah, I just, I said, I think I was vacuuming or something. I was listening to the beat after my cousin made it, probably like the next day, and I was deep cleaning my house because every now and then I do a deep clean. If I feel like life is getting a little too overwhelming, the first thing I do is I restructure and clean up my physical space so that my mind can be less cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, I'm vacuuming and I'm listening to it. I got this big ass speaker. Boom, 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 and I'm like,
prosecutor say I'm crazy, judge didn't give me bond.
And it'll be the sounds, it'll be the cadences and what you feeling.
With NBG, what vibe was you on there?
Way more intense now. I just got into my first apartment since being out of jail. And it wasn't like my first apartment to be in, but first mine in my name. Because I came straight out into a rehab, halfway house, all type of other shit, and kind of moved that shit up. So in the last 3 or 4 years, I've really gone. In the last 3 or 4 years, I've really gone from in a way, I ain't gonna say shit to sugar, but shit to slither, man. I'm still, but it's a focus thing, man. It is. It's just a simple fact that there has been time and there has been energy and resources put into this, strategy put into this, and the reason why is because I feel like I have something to say. I feel like I have something to say from a place that other people can relate to, and that's the core entity of the song 36 Flavors. That one, I think that one crossed over 100,000 views within the first month. Maybe it's now probably just under 200K. And we haven't even really put a big push behind any of the music yet with NBG. That mindset had to translate into the song as well. Because everything about my music, if we map out even just the songs in Homeless to Handsome Volume 1, Choose is a song about mental manifestation and choosing what kind of reality you want. But at the same time, your story is your story. And if this is the way you got to take lemons and make lemonade and go ahead and have all the options, 36 flavors. Yeah, we're gonna bump. Yeah, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. Yeah, we're gonna have laughs, have struggles, have pains, and back and forth as a community, as a group. But at the same time, if we're not growing, then what's the purpose? It's empty entertainment. So the album art, right? If you're looking at the album art, it looks like me, and there's an image of me on multiple different sides, squared off and all that. And you got Homeless to Handsome Volume 1 like that. But that image actually is a real image. It's not drawn. It's not anything. It was edited a little bit with a cell phone, years ago to look like it had some extra color and pop. But that's a real picture of me homeless, getting ready to smoke a cigarette on the 16th floor wet bar of the W Hotel in Atlanta. I just kind of walked around like I was supposed to be there and ended up on the elevator with a white couple, and they was in bathing suits going up to the 16th floor, and I had already, I'm very observant, so walking in to the hotel, I had already read signs looking, and I seen 16th floor wet bar, while I'm walking in, just happened to catalog stuff, and when they said they going to the wet bar, I said, oh, good. Yeah, I'm going to 16 too. And that made them think that I already was there. So boom, they went right on with me, let me out the elevator. I'm sitting over there. That picture is in the corner. It's overlooking the city of Atlanta. And I'm getting ready to smoke a cigarette, and I'm dead homeless, like dead homeless. The only money I got in my pocket was the money I just made from selling that. You know what I'm saying?
Complaining is not an option, like, you know.
At all. Because I mean, what am I complaining for?
Right.
Ain't nothing gonna change about me complaining. I gotta figure out a way by hook or by crook to make this thing happen. You are not gonna beat me or defeat me. And I'm like radio, bro. I do not settle. I had a lady. Her mama actually was talking to me. This was back when I was a big drinker, and Heineken was my beer of choice. She seen me drinking the beer. She's like, "You just got our work, baby?" I said, "Yeah." She was from Charleston. She had that Gucci talk. You just got our work, baby? I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Well, what you drinking that right there? What is that?" I said, "I think it's a Bud Ice, a Bud something." She said, "Is that what you like to drink?" I said, "No, ma'am. I like to drink Heineken." She said, "Well, why aren't you drinking Heineken?" I said, "Because it's a little expensive. I just got paid. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on something." She said, "Baby, if you like Heineken, then you pick you a Heineken." And ever since then, I ain't never thought no different.
That's where, you know, like I said, when you go into spaces where you are, I won't say 100% comfortable, but you are comfortable enough to be creative. Mm-hmm. You know, that's really when you think you start smiling more. You start thinking of a business.
I think for me it's a little bit different. I don't know if you've ever heard of Eric Thomas. One thing he talks about is if you're in pain, don't give up. You already in pain, get a reward from it. You can't get growth without pain. You can't get growth without pain. I ain't all the way Malcolm and I ain't all the way Martin, but at the same time, you know, I don't really regret life experiences because even the ones that were painful to me, you know, pushing in weights, it's gonna hurt. When you walking up that trail with that little gut pain, you're gonna get that little pain while you drink enough water. You know, it's all kinds of stuff gonna be painful while you're trying to grow in that area. I don't shy away from it. I don't like it, but I don't shy away from it. A lot of times I seek it out. Shit, I've watched niggas get out of jail and be sleeping on somebody's floor at the hotel room. And I'm one of the people that got a hotel room, so I'm looking at Buddy like, man, it's crazy. But not laughing at him, but in my mind still feeling like I'm still a little bit better than him. And then watch him month after month after month after 1 year. And he the man in the streets while I'm still in the same, just having a hotel room type shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's when you really start having to change your mind and get some reward out of the pain. And the only way to do that is to find some kind of organization and make lists or something. And I actually was doing that sounds crazy as hell, but I actually was making lists in the trap. I guess for me, it's like the creativity. If it leaves when you're not comfortable, then what was in the music in the first place? You know, there's got to be a balance between that music career, putting out yourself, marketing yourself, creating the art, making sure it's quality, working the jobs, the 9 to 5s to put money in your pocket to pay for the recordings, to pay for the mastering, to pay for the distribution, to make sure that you put it out to people just to see. You know what I'm saying? People be sitting there looking like, oh, he an overnight success. Suburb Baby. They talking about he an overnight success. I've been watching Suburb Baby for a long time. Watching them talk crap and be cussing up a storm like, yeah, look at this ugly nigga funny, boy. And now everybody looking at him like, oh, he's an overnight success. No, but it's been grinding. I don't want to be a person that in 10 years from now be like, oh, I remember seeing him on YouTube. I don't want to be a person that's still in the same spot. So my sister was the first conversation. She called me and said, hey, I'm thinking of doing such and such. What do you think I should do? I said, well, do you really want to do it? She said, well, I mean, I really do, but like, I don't know how long it's going to take. I said, that's why I asked you right there. If that's still a question in your mind, you don't really want to do it that day. Because if you really wanted to do it, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. You're going to get it done. You don't even care anymore how long it's going to take. I'm just going to keep on doing it until it gets done. My why is what keeps me motivated, and I think that everybody has to have a very strong why, because I don't know when this is going to pop off. Notice I said I don't know when, not if ever. I said I don't know when, because the only thing that brands someone as a failure is quitting. I ain't got no quit in me. So at the end of the day, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be, I don't really care. Y'all gonna I heard an artist say, he said, you gonna like me or log off. You gotta learn how to do a lot of stuff yourself to make stuff look professional. And especially if you look like us, you got to be 2 times as good to get half as far. Don't put your $300 into an open mic slot where some major DJ is going to be there, because all that's going to happen is you're going to be in a room full of other people trying to get their music heard, not a bunch of people trying to listen to your music.
Yes.
And then that major DJ or that major celebrity or that business person is going to show up in the last 10 minutes and say, man, it was so good to see all of these independent artists with this passion coming out and doing their thing. Y'all keep at it. Everything's going to come up for you. Keep on pushing. And he's going to walk out. And at the end of the day, you're looking like, okay, is this the end of the event? They flipping the lights on. You don't know he just walked out with 10 bands in his pocket just for getting on the mic for 2 seconds. And you don't pay the showrunner all this money, all of y'all in that room, $300 a pop. For him to have money in his pocket and 10 bands to pay the celebrity walkthrough. No. You hear the stories of Oprah struggling with. Well, I don't know if I can say that without getting sued, but you know, it was something that she was struggling with. There was a video about it. I could just screw up from the internet, but it gave me, you know, hope a long time ago. But she was struggling with something, and she still made it. She was worth $2.8 billion at the time I found out. You got Robert Downey Jr. and people like Samuel Jackson and people like Morgan Freeman, all these people that do stuff really big, and it don't necessarily be connected to being young, being attractive, or being already from a successful family. And that needs to be stated. We're not glorifying any negative thing, because what I want for my black people is growth. I want my black people to stop bleeding. I want my black people to wake up. I want specifically all of the enslaved black people of Libya to be free. So even if I got to become dang on New Age Moses, let's do that. But there's a lot of things I want to do, and I don't want nothing but strength and progress for my black people.